Hello everybody and welcome back to the Sandpaper Rack video series. In this video, we're going to get this cleaned up, mounted to the wall and loaded up with sandpaper. So let's get going. So this thing's glued together pretty nicely. However, there are a few gaps on some of the shoulder lines which were caused by the distortion of the wood. You know, in the last episode it was cupping and bowing quite a lot. Yeah, it's ended up pulling the tails, or I'll show you. You see on here at the bottom of those pins, there's a little gap, especially on that one. Oh, come on. Especially on that one on the right. It was because the pin board is bowing up like that and it ended up, yeah, it's just pulled it away a bit. What I should have done was put some clamps across here to kind of push them in, but I didn't do that, so oh well, I'll just get this planed up and smoothed down. But what you can do if you have small gaps on dovetails is you can plane in the direction of that gap and the end grain of the pin kind of breaks out and fills it. So this works really well if there's a gap at the bottom of the pins. I think it's, oh no, there's one there. So if I plane it in this direction, the end grain is breaking out and it's filling in that gap. This also works if there's a small gap up the side of the tail or something like that. Haven't got any on here because I was using the Katz-Moses dovetail guide. But if you were to have any gaps, then just planing in the direction of those gaps will cause the end grain to break out and fill it. It won't do any miracles, but it'll help a little bit. Okay, so I've got it finished in just one coat of Osmo, which will probably be enough. What am I looking for here? Drill bits. Yeah, it's got one coat of Osmo on it, which will be enough for this. Now I'm going to mount it to the wall, and I'm going to do that in 6 places, I think. Okay, so I could just leave that there. It certainly does its job. It looks a little bit messy. As you can see, the sandpaper doesn't stay together very well, and if you were to rip bits off this, you just end up messing up the rolls. So what we're gonna do is get an old bandsaw blade, the one that was supplied with this machine that is absolute rubbish, and I'm gonna cut a length of this off to fit within the frame to act as a guillotine. So when you pull the sandpaper through, you can rip it off against this, which means cutting this up. And I was about to start attempting it with pliers then, but I've just remembered, I've got myself a shear press. Cool, let's see, we need this to be 555. Okay, fits perfectly. So what I need to do now is fix that bandsaw blade there, but space it out with a washer to allow the sandpaper to tuck in behind it. So effectively, hang on, let's get one of these set up. All of these will constantly be fed under like that, and then when you need a bit, oh, that didn't work. With this bandsaw blade properly pulled down, you can get a pretty nice cut from it. So I'll get this blade center punch to begin with. I haven't got a whole lot of room at either end of this. That is such a relief to finally get that done. Finally, this area has got some level of organization to it. So yeah, the way this works, I've got 80 grit, 120 grit, 180 and 240 on here, which is usually the range of grits that I stay within for 90% of my work. So yeah, you can just go in there, rip it off, and you get a lovely even bit come off. It means you get less wastage. It's a lot easier to store and see what you got. It's just really fun to do, to be honest. So yeah, I hope you like this video series. Don't forget that there are free plans available from my website, so links to those are in the description. Yeah, don't forget to like the video if you like the video, subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you in the next video.